Alright, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Highgate Selectboard meeting for Thursday, November 6, 2025. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So before we get to public comment, there are a few topics that need to be discussed in executive session with legal on items D, E, and F, as well as additional executive session item needs to be amended officially on the agenda. So if I have a motion to amend the agenda to add an executive session when agenda item D comes up, and to invite Town Administrator Freddie Hayes to an executive session after the Casella executive session to discuss legal matters involving personnel related to contracts.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so up next is public comment. Sue.
Yes, one quick question that was brought to my attention over the weekend. I had a call. I understand that there's only 3 handicap parking spaces at the arena. Are they going to be added the 4th one like we did last year?
We are not done with construction at the arena
Okay,
yet.
this was just brought to my attention. I just wanted to, because I didn't know what to tell them, and I said I will be at the select board on Thursday and I will find out. Last year we did have 4.
Yeah, when we are done with construction, we'll make sure that we're having that conversation if we can change some lines, because the outlook of the
Right,
has
and I
changed.
understand that correctly. I do understand that. I just, somebody brought it to my attention and I said, good, I have a question, because otherwise you guys are going to be asking, looking for a question, so here's your question.
Yeah, and we should know by the next select board
Okay,
meeting,
thank
so
you.
I'll, if you ask, I will receive an answer.
Okay, thank you.
So that's
That's all I really
Sorry.
have to say.
And on that note, just a reminder, construction is ongoing, so parking is at a premium. Parking is available at the school if you're at the arena for whatever events. Any other public comment? Seeing none? Next up is Town Clerk Wendy Discipline.
I will be brief because we have a lot to do. We have minutes from October 16th.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make that motion to accept the minutes from 10:16.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Thank you. Quickly, some events. Operation Happiness is ongoing. There's a list that's been published and it covers every town. Highgate, I have highlighted, you need to call. It provides baskets of food and gifts for children and the family aged 16 and under. Highgate residents can call 868-1601 between 6 and 8 p.m. during the weekdays. Leave a message, and the dates to call are now, so November 3rd through the 14th. But all towns are listed here. It's on our website, on our Facebook page, and our Instagram page. MVU Skit Night is coming up. November 13th and 14th. Always a good show, a good fundraiser for student council. And then on November 15th, there are 3 craft shows in town. One at the elementary school that is hosted by the Highgate Library Community Center. There's one at the Methodist Church, and there's also another one at the Manor that is a kids craft show. Those are all on the 15th of November. We have all the ice rental and locker room contracts back from all teams. I don't think we've ever had it this early. So they're all back, signed, and recorded, and Shelley has the originals. And the last thing I have is next Tuesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day, so our town offices and departments will be closed for Veterans Day. And that's it for me.
All right, so before we move on, I guess there's a comment from Zoom
Yes, from Ryan Bates.
from Ryan Bates. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, well, my volume being down might not help. Yes.
Hello.
There we go, we got
We
you.
can hear you now.
Hey guys. Hi, good evening. My name is Ryan Bates, and I live on Boone Drive. I would like to make a comment related to the Select Board Agenda Item C, which is Boone Drive Takeover Request. Nancy Ludick approached me and other Boone Drive residents last month, and she gave us information in which she claims she does not own the road and will not continue to plow. She says that the town's deed reversal is invalid because she never acknowledged it. Now, after emailing with Mr. Hayes, it was determined that the town accepted the road in 2018 for a probationary period, and then reversed it for reasons that are unclear.
So Ryan, can I interrupt you real quick?
Clarified tonight. Yep.
So this is an agenda item, we need to discuss this during that part of the agenda. So if you want to hang on and we can get back to you during that discussion.
Sure, that sounds great. Sorry, I wasn't sure which part.
No, that's fine.
Sounds good.
So when we get to that, we'll make sure that you're unmuted and we can hear you.
Great, thank you.
All right. Okay, moving on to Town Treasurer Shelley Rush.
Check warrant is in front of you guys.
Did you all get a chance to review the check warrant?
Make a motion to accept the check warrant?
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
While you're signing that, we just ended up collecting taxes. It was a very busy month. We ended October 30th with an outstanding principal balance of $290,128.96. Slightly higher, not by much, than previous years, but I think many factors are playing a part right now between the Canadian Postal Service shutting down and the government shutdown on this side of the border. People were mail was slow, people were late. As of right now, including the penalty and interest and all prior years, our total delinquent balance, not including the Jedware property, is $299,836.59. And we are still slowly chugging along with the tax sale process for a few of the parcels that qualify. No specific date set yet. That will be later, but it is in process. That's all I have for you, unless you have something else for me.
So, you got anything for Shelley? Okay. Moving on to Town Administrator Fred Hayes.
I don't have anything in particular for folks because we're slowing down on construction season and we're rolling into winter, so we don't have any active construction other than the arena that I would ask folks to be careful around workers, drive safe, be slow, and to just be careful of where you park while you're over at the arena. We expect that to be done by the end of November into December. There are some probably interior touches that we'll make, but we're really excited for it. And that's all I've got in terms of like major projects because we're moving into winter, so. Yep.
Okay. Next item up is Local Hazard Mitigation Services. And so we received one proposal by Northwest Regional Planning.
That's me.
That's you?
I'm Sean.
Okay. Hi, Sean.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So we'll just take one, pass it down. Freddie's gonna read through the details as we read through first. I'll listen to it.
Are you ready, Wendy?
Let her go.
The Northwest Regional Planning Commission is pleased to submit this proposal. This is the only proposal that we received for this request, and I will move forward. The cost proposal is $9,850. Sorry, skipping things. With the project schedule starting in January of 2026, and the in-step submitting an adopted plan to FEMA for final approval in July or August of 2026, which does.
Assuming there's going to be,
Sure. Yeah.
Good to know.
there'll be something.
And then I got the other things over it. Here we go. Read through the whole thing.
Oh, no. You just have to read what one you need to.
Freddie, we do have grant funds to help pay for
This
this?
is a fully grant-funded
That's what I
project.
thought. Just wanted the public to
Which,
know.
the request for proposals defines the budget, which is within the grant agreement. And
One of the things for the veteran groups too, the reason why you have a hazard mitigation plan, it helps you be eligible for mitigation grants. Like you apply, town had a lot of really good history with getting mitigation grants from the state and from FEMA over the years for the did landfill, did Watt Farm buyout back when Ray Tankway was around. We did a few buyouts through, I think there was 3 or 4 buyouts we've done over the years. So you've had good success with it. Having a mitigation plan makes you eligible for applying for those mitigation grants. And you also, there's a thing called the Emergency Relief Assistance Fund, which is something the state of Vermont does. And they've established this criteria after Irene to try to get towns to make sure they're planning for emergencies. So they said if you have these four things in place, and those are an emergency management plan, which you do every year, a hazard mitigation plan, adopted roads, codes, and standards, and participation in the National Flood Insurance Program, which you do, and that enables everybody that needs flood insurance to get flood insurance. So if you have those 4 things, then you get a reduced match when there's a federal declaration. So, poor Sue here has had her share of disasters. When there is a federal declaration, usually like when there's a federal declaration that's done, if your town's a part of it, the declaration, FEMA will pay 75% of the public works invoices, any emergency work that you do, bridges, culverts, roads. They'll pay 75% of the emergency funding. Town pays 25% local match. With ERAF, with having those 4 things in place, it reduces your match down to 12.5%. It cuts it in half. And then if you have river corridor bylaws, on top of the flood bylaws that you have in your zoning, if you have a river corridor, then it drops it down another 7.5%. So it can save you quite a bit. I mean, these disasters, anytime we have one of these flood events, especially if it's a declared disaster, you see the news and what's happened in Cambridge, and the Kingdom, and what's happened to Highgate and Swan in the past, living on the river, it's inevitable that it'll happen again. So it definitely will save the town some money in the long run.
For the purposes of this board, this request for proposals came out of the existing grant agreement that provided the funding to go do this request for proposals. And will be on my list of things to work with Sean, whoever is chosen, or
Yeah, whoever you choose.
to
I mean,
do,
if you go
to
with
do this.
someone else-
And our current plan, our current local hazard mitigation plan is out of date. It is not currently active or compliant.
They're like on I think a 5-year cycle. And I think over the pandemic, a lot of towns kind of had some priorities at the time and updating these plans.
Any discussion?
That's paid for out of the grant, correct?
Yes.
That's what I would do.
The only proposal received, so do the motion.
I move to accept the proposal from Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
I'll second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Congrats.
I have one question though. Where do I get one of those hats?
I'll give you mine.
I think there are a few.
But yeah, you guys have,
We'll hook you up, Sean.
you sell the merch now?
Thinking about it.
Yeah, I like it. That's-
Good to see you, Sean.
Yeah, it's nice to see
You have mine. You might email. Let me know.
Freddie, we'll talk about next steps. So, thanks everybody, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, moving on. Demolition services, request for proposal opening. We've got a stack.
You want six first or?
I think we'll pass these down the board. And then we can
Is there one for everybody?
have enough.
Is there a fire?
These are all, yes, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, and they each need to be individually read out.
Yeah,
Okay.
the highlights, right?
Typically, we'll pass them out and take turns.
They all each have copies for everybody.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I got the little one.
Do we want to go down the road and read who submitted them
Sure,
for the
we
public
can
record?
read them out, go down and read who they're from. This is from Apex.
mine's from Gilmet Handyman Services, who is live here in the audience.
Summit Contracting.
FRL Excavation, Highgate Road, St. Albans.
We've got complete demolition services from Fairfax.
Mary, can you repeat yours?
FRL, I'm assuming is Frontline.
Okay.
First response labor.
First response, library is closed.
FFL, FRL,
Everybody gets a copy of that.
services?
Excavation.
Okay.
This one only has one. This one doesn't have one for everybody.
Yeah, we're working through
You
it.
guys, you want a copy?
This one does not have one for everybody.
Yes, please. There should be.
I guess those are extras. This one only has the one.
So we've got 3 options.
Yes, so. Maybe ask them when she feels so she can record them.
Okay.
So this request for proposal for the demo, just to explain upfront both to the board members and to the public, there was 3 options requested in the request for proposals. One for just the demolition and removal services of 14 St. Armand, which is referred to as the hotel property. The second option is the demo and removal services for just 28 Mill Hill, period, comma. And then the third option is to do them both at the same time. That is both for financing and then also for us to determine scheduling, because we have abatement and remediation services happening at the 14 St. Armand property that are being scheduled with state and federal timelines, which are not always in conjunction with local government.
Competition.
Should we allow ourselves time to read through all of these and not take up?
Yes, if I could get a copy of each so I could start reading them and you can read, I can read them out loud for the public record and for public
You want,
knowledge,
this is only,
and then you guys can read, huh?
this is only one, came now, just one. So they didn't call over.
So I will start
That's how I would look.
reading apexes, as that was the first one we just had down from Chad. That's just the order we're gonna go in. Option A, which is the cost proposal for 14 St. Armand Road, the demolition and removal services, is proposed at $116,000, 200,
Can you say which did you read? Who
yes,
did?
Apex.
Okay, sorry.
So Apex, the cost proposal for just the 14 St. Armand property is $116,244.00. The cost option for 28 Mill Hill, just 28 Mill Hill, is at $4,897.03. Options, the third option, the cost proposal for both structures simultaneously is $162,276.00. And as this request for proposals was specifically to have flexibility in scheduling, there is no schedule associated with this request for proposals. Because if the contractor that you decide, you can go into contract negotiations with, and we can make the best decision fiscally for the projects, especially with the federal timeline on the 14 St. Armand property. Because the abatement that's required before the demolition is going to be funded by outside sources, and we are required to be on their schedule. So that is Apex. And then I have Gillet's request, response to the request for proposals. The cost proposal for just 14 St. Armand is $7,500.00. This is for Gillet's. The cost proposal for 28 Mill Hill, just 28 Mill Hill, is $4,000.00, $40,000. The total price for both proposals, so the demolition services cost proposal for both 14 St. Armand and 28 Mill Hill simultaneously is $110,000.00. That was Gillet.
I haven't got a chance to read all these, Freddie, but the first one you read, there are some important notes. These, like Mr. Gilmet says, the $110,000 bid to both have to be done at the same time. That's the only way it's going to be done.
Yes,
Okay.
So when
But you said we don't have a schedule, so can we guarantee that both will be available to demolish at the same time, or?
yes,
Okay.
because you can schedule 28 Mill Hill at any time. The only one that is schedule prohibited is 14 St. Armand because of the abatement that we have outside grant money coming in to do.
Okay.
I also would say that I'm mostly speaking for the public record, so it can be very clear what the costs are. Does someone have a Summit copy for me to read?
Thank you.
Oh, I have two. Might as well go. So the next one is Summit that I will be reading out for the cost proposals. The cost proposal for the demolition and removal services of 28 Mill Hill only is $4,750.00, $47,500. The demolition and removal services of 14 St. Armand or the hotel property only is $92800, $92,800. The demolition and removal services of both sites simultaneously, the cost proposal for this from Summit is $134,990, $134,990, 0 cents on all of these. FRL. And you have the only copy of FRL.
Which one?
First response. These ones are first response.
Right there. Put it right there.
This one?
Yeah, but that was only one copy, so
I
that,
have to read it out. It was submitted, so I have to read it out. This is the cost proposals for FRL, excavation and trucking.
Is there any other copies for FRL?
no,
I had one.
There was only one.
There's only one copy. For FRL, the cost proposal for 14 St. Armand only, aka the hotel property, so this is the cost proposal for just 14 St. Armand, the hotel property, is, there are two separate amounts on this, but 485,000 and 0 cents, as well as 31500 and 00 cents. This would be a total of $80,000 for 14 St. Armand only. It has two separate amounts, so the 48.5 and the 31.5 are listed out separately, but they are for just 14 St. Armand.
How much was that total again?
$80,000
Okay.
for 14 St. Armand only. For 28 Mill Hill, the cost proposal for just 28 Mill Hill is $18500 and 0 cents. And then the additional on that is 16200, which is a total of, let me do the math. $34700 $1,048.00. So the total cost for 28 Mill Hill, cost proposal from FRL, is $34,700. And then the total cost proposal for both demolitions and removals is $114,700, $114,700.00.
Did the RFP stipulate there had to be like 5 or 7 copies?
7 copies.
How many copies showed up?
1.
Okay.
And then I need complete demo
Yeah, let's do a different.
A and B, please. I have C.
I give you all three.
Black card.
No, those are already done.
See that black card, please? Yeah.
I'm taking it from,
This
I
one
got it.
is,
I
okay.
got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then I have
So much stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go.
This is from Complete Demolition Services. The cost proposal for just 28 Mill Hill. This is the cost proposal from Complete Demolition Services for just 28 Mill Hill. 3, 7, 8, 9, 0, and 00 cents. The cost proposal for the demolition and removal services for 14 St. Armand only. Again, this is from Complete Demolition, is 1, 2, 0, 0, 4, 8, and 00 cents. $120,048.00.
That was for what again? The 120 was for what?
14 St. Armand only.
Yeah. Okay.
The cost proposal for both demolitions simultaneously from Complete Demolition Services is 1, 5, 7, 9, 3, 8, and 00 cents. That is $157,938.00. Again, that there should, if there's a schedule involved, that's fine. But again, there is no timeline on this, specifically because of our schedule restrictions with 14 St. Armand. So if you read through and don't see that, that is okay.
We should take these packets home and look them over, read through carefully, and maybe bring this back up next meeting for discussion.
The only question I have is, have we done any studies on asbestos over there?
Yes,
Okay.
we have an environmental report for 28 Mill Hill, and we do not need abatement services on 28 Mill Hill. Because that would have been included in many umbrella applications.
Don't know.
About 14 there is asbestos, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Asbestos, lead, and other contaminants that have to be abated. And that abatement work is already being done and contracted for with grant money. So that is why we are restricted on that timeline, because we need federal and state approval to do that work, because it is.
So another company's gonna remove the asbestos, correct?
The asbestos, the lead,
Okay, perfect.
they are going to do the abatement work on 14 St. Armand,
Okay,
and then we will have to do the demo, and then we have grant money for the remediation work on the soil that's left over.
What do you think? Should we put these with this and go and come back, or
So you can move this to make a decision at the next select board meeting, or you can move this to have a conversation in executive and then make a decision tonight. It is okay to take time on this because there are many of them and it is complicated.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure we thoroughly look through them. So I'll leave that up to the rest of the board. We want to take these home and.
I second that. You gotta read them over.
Yeah, there's a lot to read.
All right, so can I get a motion to table this till
I'll make
next?
that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we got homework to do.
Did you say you're gonna make a decision in the next meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to read through everything, make sure everybody's got everything in
No,
there.
I have no problem with that. There's a lot there to read, so.
Yeah.
Can I just mention something, nothing to do with the bids, but just read the properties themselves?
Sure.
Something you guys might want to think about is those wells, I know there's a drill well here, and I don't know if there's one over there or not. I know you guys don't have a big water source, and in there was part of capping those wells and getting rid of them. That might be something you want to think about keeping. You know, you may have to tap onto that well someday, you think, if it, you know, you could use that. I mean, it's no big deal with the gap, it's not gonna hurt anything.
We talked about it.
Yeah, you know, I don't know.
We talked about it.
Before you go and bury it, it
Right.
might be worth just checking into it. And,
Yeah.
you know, asking the floors or somebody or somebody that, you know, I know you don't have a great water source around here, so do you have a water sources? Something to think about.
Appreciate the suggestion.
Yeah.
Yep, good idea.
Absolutely. Look forward to hearing you guys.
All right, so next item up is the Boone Drive takeover request.
Do you want to start with Ryan, or do you want to?
Yeah, Ryan, are you still with us?
Thank you, James, for coming in.
Thank you.
Take care.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'll just start over. So my name is Ryan Bates. I live on Boone Drive. I'd like, well, I already said that part. Nancy Ludick approached me recently, last month, and she gave me and other residents on Boone Drive information. She claims she does not own the road and will not continue to plow. She says that the town's deed reversal is invalid because she never acknowledged it. Now, after emailing with Mr. Hayes, it was determined that the town accepted the road in 2018 for a probationary period and then reversed it for reasons that are unclear and hopefully can be clarified. The major concern for me and residents on Boone Drive is that one, nobody is claiming ownership, and two, we suddenly have no winter plowing arrangements. So this puts us in a bit of a legal and financial limbo right before winter season. Our deeds do say that residents are equally responsible for costs maintaining the road, but we have no structure in place, or one that I'm aware of, since moving to Boone Drive last year in July. I understand the current position is limited staff and resources, but I hope the board will seriously consider our situation. Boone Drive is a short 600-foot road that the town already passes. I'm asking the board to please accept Boone Drive, or at the very least, help residents establish a legal non-HOA agreement for road maintenance this season. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Is this Kristen?
Yes.
Okay, Kristen, do you want to speak to Boone Drive and the legal aspects of that?
Sure, I'll come up here a little closer. Kristen Shamus for anybody I haven't met. Filling in for Ed while he was away. So I looked at Freddie's great list of the events that happened with Boone Drive, and I have to add briefly about it as well. And I think it's up to the select board, obviously, whether you would like to accept this. It's not a town road at this point. I think the claim has been that because the town recorded this deed and the Leduc said they didn't accept it, that it's somehow invalid. But that deed was just really cleaning up the land records because the town never accepted the original deed to the town either. It was just brought and recorded. It wasn't sent to the town and had for legal review or anything like that. So I think if the argument is that this deed was, the deed back from the town was somehow invalid, it was only cleaning up the invalid deed that came to the town originally.
Okay. So, a discussion on Boone Drive. Fred, we got Richard, our road commissioner here.
As far as I stand, I don't think we should accept it. It's been a lot of, I read over some of the stuff, and they mention at times that are select board members that haven't been on the board for eight or 9 years. So, and it mentions that they were there in 2023 and they weren't, and
I would agree with you there. Sorry to just jump in, but that piece of paper, I read that as well, and then Freddie let me know that the supposed select board members that were listed there had not been on the board for 10 years. So them signing that is worthless, basically.
And I'm going to say what I've been saying to all these roads. We can't afford to take them over right now, and we've got dirt roads that we should be worrying about in town that the town's had forever. And my feeling as road commissioner, we can't afford to take them over, and we've turned others down because we're going to need more trucks, more plows and that stuff. And right now, I can't see us taking them over.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of the board thinks, but.
The road foreman agrees with you.
Yeah.
We know that. Vern, you have a historical knowledge of the previous decisions?
I believe we addressed this a couple years ago, and there was something about having it up to the state's A78 standards. And I think you were here for that too. Some of the culverts didn't meet that. Some of the thickness of the road didn't meet that. I understand it's been capped since, but I don't think there's been any core samples taken, anything like that, to verify that the road is uniform throughout from beginning to end. So there would have to be, I guess, some more engineering studies to make sure it does meet the standards. The big thing for me, does this have an HOA yet? Do they have an HOA on Boone?
No.
No. So that's
part of the requirement.
That's one of the requirements of us taking over a road. It's got to be an HOA. So that's got to be worked out too. And I think that was a couple of years ago. That was one of the issues, was there was no HOA. So we got to have that too.
That seems to have been the barrier all along, and I understand.
And I understand your dilemma. I was on Tanglewood Drive and what's the loop there? The other road.
Chadwell.
Yeah, we know HOA for years and finally got one. It took years to get it, to get everybody to agree. But yeah, it was a pain, and I know what you guys are going through. But the HOA is a requirement for the town to take over, so you got to work on that too.
The document that exists, it's a quick claim deed done for the property. Are you saying that wasn't a legal document? When the town took over in 2018?
The deed from the Leducs. Are you Mrs. Leduc? Sorry.
My name is Cheryl Troko.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a new resident.
Oh, gotcha, okay. The deed to the town was never accepted by the town, it was just recorded.
There was a document that said the town agreed to take over the road.
No.
And then it was filed. That's what I received a copy of from Mrs. Leduc.
the town didn't agree to take over.
And a letter as well,
Yeah,
saying that they would.
the letter said if certain qualifications were met, they would, and they've been consistently saying they needed an HOA, which has not happened
You know, and
because of the stormwater.
the residents cannot be legally bound to an HOA that don't want to.
They don't, nobody's making them do an HOA, that's fine, but also the town won't take over until there is an HOA. So the town's not required to take this over.
Has that been documented? Who owns the road? That's my question. Who owns
Well,
this
it
road?
is too. I believe that the town does not.
The town don't own the road.
The town does not.
No, the town does not. I believe it's the Leducs, but without looking at those documents, I'm not sure, but I know it's not the town.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, so, I'm sorry, what was your last name, ma'am?
My name is Cheryl.
Cheryl. So yeah, I'm looking, we've got a list of, like an inventory of roads, town roads and then private roads, and Boone is listed on here as a private road. So it's not a town road.
Actually, Cheryl, the last time you came in, you were asking how many were not plowed by the town. The long list is the roads that are not plowed by the town. The short list is the roads that are.
And people are charged their taxes across the board, no matter if the town takes over or plows the road.
I'm on that long list too.
My question is, we pay the same tax?
We sure do.
I'm on
I
private,
live
Yep.
on a private road.
so do I.
So do I.
Town doesn't plow my road either.
Would the board put together some kind of futuristic plan of when this could be remedied, whether it's a 3-year, a 5-year, a 10-year plan?
I think that's a good idea to list a priority, or get a priority list of roads for future projects. Freddie, if you can work on that.
So there is an existing list, you should have a copy of that has a list of all private roads and the number of active E911 addresses on that site. That is something you can use as a priority list depending on the amount of residents on the road, or you can request that I do research into the specific factors that would go into making a priority list and then making that priority list based on those factors.
I think, I've been on here, I think the longest, and since I've been here, our priority list, with board members that I've been with, our priority list has been take care of our dirt roads that we have, and then we'll talk about our private roads, since I've been on. Because we've got some dirt roads that people are complaining, same thing, why aren't our dirt roads taken care of? And that's what we've been working with, the planning commission's been working, and we've been trying to get our dirt roads taken care of. So some of the ones that have a lot of development on them that we've had forever. That's what our plan was.
So would I live there for 30 years and not ever think it would be plowed or taken over by the town?
I've been at my
Is that
residence.
is that realistic for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been on my road for 25 years. It's private. It's never been plowed.
20 for me.
So that's realistic for me to believe?
Yes. Unfortunately.
Any further discussion? So, can you get a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to not take the road over.
So, can you make a motion to deny the request?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Chad, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Do
so,
you want to make a motion about directing me to do research on a priority list? Both our current roads. I can do two separate ones, one for where we are with our current public roads that we are maintaining, and one for our private roads that we,
I think your plate is filleth over right now.
I was gonna say,
always is.
Yeah, then,
That's always,
Yeah.
it's always.
But I hold off on it as of right now, and once we get some of this stuff thought up, I'd say. But
So maybe we can make a motion to have her put it on the back burner, but have it there so she knows at some
Put it on the
point.
May 2026 agenda.
So at least she has a direction to move forward.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Here's the motion.
To,
you gotta have another motion?
so I need a motion to
Yeah.
direct Freddie to create a priorities list, starting with town roads and then continuing on with private roads.
To be rediscussed at May 26th.
I don't know if we need a timeline.
Okay.
When
So
you-
priority list.
appropriate.
Yeah, when appropriate.
Who made that motion?
Who wants to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we got a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
No.
No?
No.
All right, one no from Richard. Okay. So now we're up to the dog agreement.
I'll recuse myself as I'm a party to this agreement, so I'll step out. Call me back in when you're done, please.
Are we going to, are you going to executive session for this?
Yeah, we need to go into executive session for the dog agreement, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so can I get a motion to go into executive?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
yeah.
All right.
Can you invite me into?
Yes.
We enter the regular select board meeting.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the agreement for the dog, there is a complaint about a dog. The dog owner's attorney talked it over with our attorney, and they drafted an agreement between the two parties. We are between the Broskis and the Kirks
And the town.
in the town. So we need a motion to sign the agreement, to ratify it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make that motion to sign the agreement.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, so. Signature. Don't need this one too.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll sign the one that's been signed by the two parties. Do you want to discuss that?
You already did this part?
No. So that's,
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You can scan that to me when you have it. I'll
Yes.
circulate it.
Thank you.
we need to discuss whether or not we want to issue
No.
plane
No.
tickets. or-
Animal control officer decides that.
We're actually at the-
Yes.
Okay. All right, so moving on. Town office security and access.
Jack.
Thank you.
Do you want me to read out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you go over this one?
Town office security has been wow. Town office security has been an ongoing conversation as per the events of August, September, and October for in and around the town. And the board previously approved myself to do research on security system and impossible law enforcement coverage in relationship to increasing and upgrading town security, both here at the offices and the garages, as well as the arena and any other relevant town property. Since then, there was an incident regarding mismatched expectations of town office access for elected officials. You all need to have a discussion and decide what the appropriate access is for select board members and for other elected or appointed officials to town offices outside of regular business hours. And those hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Those are the regular hours that we are open, and we do typically meet people sometimes outside of those hours, but only by request. The decision can be made in conjunctions with recommendations that I am still working on, but you don't have to make that decision with the recommendations that I will report to you when I have that information. And then you also may request for me to prepare a report on security and access options, recommendations, and comparisons of other municipal practices. So towns in Fenton County, around Vermont, and then nationwide. Basically saying what other people do and what the general recommendation is, or none of the above. It's up to you. You all must discuss and vote.
All right, so discussion.
Regarding select board only right now,
Yeah, so access to,
I believe that, in my opinion, the select board body should have access to the community room at any time, but not necessarily the front, except for in a state of emergency, which they would be part of anyhow. That's my opinion.
all right, any other?
I think everybody needs to weigh in on this. I think everybody should.
Yep.
Richard.
Well, yeah, I don't think we need to go beyond those doors. You know, and I don't know. I really don't know. Do we need to get beyond those doors? I guess, you know, somebody's got to fill me in a little bit too here. You know, would we have to go beyond these doors?
Only in a state of emergency. As like we had during the ice disaster.
Okay.
We used to phone in the offices, but they were involved in that.
Right. Right.
That's how I see it.
Now, you would have to get in there to see video, would you?
Yeah, but our security policy says that either Shelley or Wendy would have to be in there with me to let me gain access to the room.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's to log into the computer.
To log in, because they've got the master login. I can't get in the computer unless they open it up for me.
Yeah.
And
So,
Almost like your two-factor authentication,
Yeah.
so the cameras aren't being watched willy-nilly, and you're on camera while you're watching the camera.
Yeah.
Policy
Okay.
is also written that I don't even have that master login, so it has to be
Yeah.
Shelley or Wendy who are elected.
but I think the access to this room, I think that'd be okay. Other than that, I don't think we need to be in the front office. That's my feeling.
For me personally, I have no reason to go up there. I have no reason.
Yeah.
This, maybe I can see, maybe
Yeah.
once in a blue moon, but I have no reason to go up front.
Because you have mailboxes up there.
Yeah, I have no reason to go up front.
Yeah, that's right. If I gotta go up there, it's to see them and they gotta be there, so.
There's nothing up front that interests me. It's that simple.
I'm same boat. I think access back here, sure. I think that should probably only be for chair, vice chair to have the keys
To where?
to just this
Yeah.
back area.
To this room,
Yeah,
I respectfully disagree.
Same here.
Same here.
Yeah, we're elected officials trusted by the town. We gotta have access to some part of this building. This is a community room, in my opinion, and if I need to meet with somebody away from the select board for town business, I wanna be able to bring them in somewhere, I want to bring them in here.
Okay.
Done it before.
I have no problem with that.
For chair and vice chair, my recommendation is one of the two of you has keys to the front office, just in case of emergency, command post type operation, emergency operations center, something like that. Not that you two take a lot of vacations or anything, but it might be a time where maybe she's out of state, you're on vacation. Somebody from the board, I think, should have a key, and I think it should lie with the chair. As for the rest of the access, I'm fine with the rest of us just having access to her.
Okay.
What do you need up front that you don't have back here?
Copier. I don't need to get up front, is what I'm saying, but the chair might. You know, if we're bringing in, let's say, officials from the state or higher, whatever, just in case you guys aren't available, which would be, it probably would never happen, but it could. That would be my recommendation. Freddie, you said that you were going to do more research, though,
So
about what the state, you mentioned something the other day about the double locking to protect
so
PII stuff.
yeah, so personnel and other sensitive documents, some of them have a double locking requirement, which is actually pretty common for HR related or personnel related materials. So making sure that that double lock standard is met just for security. I wouldn't love everybody to have a copy of my birth certificate if said that was
Right.
if that was something that was available. So that double locking is a preventative measure for HR materials. And then so that, and then basically it would have to be like one person has to be designated to have a key to upfront for that, because then that meets our requirements that only people with specific access have access to that double locked scenario.
I did notice, is there a lock on this door right here?
The hallway door has a lock.
Okay. Are they all separate keys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you agree that, if you all agree that there should be access to this room, that would mean access in whatever form that comes in and the security code to turn off for here, but wouldn't have access up front. You can do that in a number of different ways, and then if we want to change the security system that we have right now, and would change like how you access that back door, that could possibly be something as well. So you can either vote now and make that decision, or continue to discuss and move it to the next meeting, or wait for additional like security information, or if you want to make them separate, vote now, and then I'll provide the research material when it's ready. Up to you. This is your vote, this is your discussion.
Is there any limitation to the number of access codes for the system?
When I talked to Kevin Coble the other day at Summit, he said no. No. The one issue that came up that we should probably talk about too is, I know you guys want to protect the front office and statutes and requirements and all that, but when doing the video review the other day, the cleaning lady gets full access to that office. How is she vetted? The contract cleaning gets access to that office. We can't as elected officials. How does that happen? How does that right there seems like a flaw in the system?
You want to scrub the toilets while you're up there?
No problem.
Yeah.
So the double access does require explicit permission. So in the contract, it probably states that she has explicit permission to be in those spaces.
There is a non-employee worker agreement with the cleaning company, and they do have to provide liability insurance. So if there was something that was, I'm not positive about that, it would have been a Heidi setup. It's very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one.
I would like to know if she's had a background check. No.
We can find out.
Yep.
And if not, we could do
That
it.
is sensitive information.
It is, but once hired, state of Vermont does not allow you to go backwards. So
Been here
that could
for
only be
8, 9 years.
changed,
Yeah.
that can only be changed if a new person is hired.
So she's been here 8, 9 years, so she's golden, she's good.
The liability insurance covers that.
She does
But
have
for
to,
future.
yeah.
No, I'm saying for future, she can put that in.
I don't know if we are able to just ask if they have a background check on file for her for us to access. Sometimes companies do have that information can be requested by, and not just given upfront because background checks have a lot of information on them. But we can look
I
into
think there
if
should be
there
a
is
policy
existing.
moving forward, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can check to see if there's an existing background check that would not be going back and whatever. But then we can also be clear in security policy that whoever has access to that has explicit permission and it follows state guidelines and federal guidelines on securing sensitive and personal information.
For the record, I wasn't making any accusation against it's the flaw in the logic of who gets to go in there. I think,
Can be held personally responsible for anything or any part of my job. I can be sued. The town would be sued. You can't personally be sued, I can. I can be held personally responsible for my job. That's the difference. I don't want my stuff to come up missing, and I'm not saying a board member, I am not saying that. But without knowing who does have access or permissions or who's been in and who's not been in, it's nerve-wracking for me.
And something else, Shelley, I think we ought to have a sign in, a sheet, right over on the file cabinets or something, when one of us come in.
Your code on the pin pad is your sign-in.
and that camera.
That's why everybody has, and the camera.
Okay.
We got
So
cameras.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that part.
Every time you punch your code in, it's unique to you, and there's a log.
Excuse me.
Who's come and gone.
One of the questions around this, and this is before I think any of our time, why were your offices not designed with doors? Especially your office
I know.
and Freddy's.
How come we don't put doors on?
I have a door.
Yeah.
I have a lockable door.
You have a door?
I have a lockable door. Carolyn
Okay.
has a lockable door, and you have a
I do not. I have a pocket door.
Pocket door.
Would
that
you like a lockable door? I think it would be a great
I think
idea.
it'd be a great idea.
Yes,
I think we should get you a lockable door.
I don't know if it would be some sort of,
yes, she does.
yeah.
I think we start there
I
for
know,
sure.
before here, everything was locked. My office door had a lock on it, and my cabinets were locked, and my door was locked before leaving. And then the office was locked on top of that at my prior.
And Wendy, you have to be available to the public, so we can maybe put a glass cage, something around you.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble, yeah. Okay.
Yours definitely needs to be more
But
secure.
Yours needs more secure, yeah, for sure.
So, and the reason why we do meet our standards for I'm gonna call it the 2-lock requirement, is that at the very front, there's the front door, and then there's a vestibule door. And then here, we have our back door, and then our hallway door between that information. So that actually does, so we're good with Wendy, but Wendy does not have walls. Or door. So her the front and the back door and the hallway door and the vestibule door are her doors.
Only locking mechanisms.
Yeah.
Unless I jump in the hole.
Well,
So, could we get a motion maybe to get an RFP to get a door installed on Shelley's office?
That'd be great.
do you want it folded into all of the recommendations and quotes and things that I can pull for all of the other security upgrades?
Do you want to do it, would it be
Just do it
separately? Yeah, it'd be quicker, probably
separately so we can,
Swing.
yeah.
Well, I think there are pocket doors that do come with locks, just
Yeah.
the one I have does not have a lock,
So we could just.
Oh, you have a pocket door?
I have a pocket
Oh,
door.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in the wall.
Oh, okay.
There's no room for a door that swings.
Right.
But we can put a lock lock into
Somebody
that
needs a lock.
Yeah, we could.
I didn't
Or
know
you
that.
could
Maybe
replace the
do
door, which is
some-
under the minimum threshold
Right.
for your RFP
Yeah.
or RFB requirements to put that out there. We could just look at.
What would you
Home Depot
prefer, a
back.
pocket door or a real door?
There's no
For
space for a real door.
logistics of the office, the
Probably
pocket
pocket
door
door,
is the only thing that really works in that
Yes.
space.
So have a lock installed on your pocket door.
Yeah, that's what I would
Or,
recommend.
yeah,
Okay.
We will look into pocket door options.
or some sort of lock option.
That doesn't need a motion, does it?
Locking pocket door options.
No, it's under the,
It's under the
It's
amount.
under the
it's
threshold.
under the threshold.
So, yeah, please look into that.
Yeah, I'm happy to bring in recommendations and work with Public Works to make that as fiscally responsible as possible.
So as far as access goes, I think we're all in agreement that all select board members should have a key to get into this area only,
Which means they need a code.
and they need a
We
code.
need a code.
So
You need a vote.
we will need a vote on that, or motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So to be clear that the motion is for all select board members to have access, to have a key into the community room and a security code into the system
Yes.
to allow for access in the community room outside of regular business hours. And then also that the chair has access into the front, like a key.
I'm
Or some
not
type
in
of
agreement
access.
with that.
So just
For
the,
now, we'll just deal with all select board members having access to the community room
in a security code. Okay.
in a security code.
Okay. I just want to be very clear for public record on that.
Okay.
Personnel policy.
Oh,
Did we vote?
One more thing going back to that.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
Key inventory.
oh, you didn't vote? Did we vote?
Yeah, we
There's
voted.
a motion in a second.
Yeah, we gotta say it.
Oh.
I said aye, well, let's say aye for it. Yeah.
Ask us, Ben. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Second time.
There we go.
Done. Going back to that, thought about it too, key inventory. We need that.
Who has keys?
Who has keys? We need to keep a
We
list.
already, we
We need to change the locks in general.
Yeah.
I know there's
Yeah.
one person in this town that's got more keys than any janitor I've ever seen, and I don't know how he got them.
We
That's
already
what
got
I
him
mean.
back.
Oh, we got them
I
back?
think we make a motion to change the locks so we can start from scratch. You don't know who's got keys out there.
That's,
Was that part of your original?
Yes.
So
Yes.
she's already looking into that for her
Yeah.
security upgrade.
Okay,
But I will note
We
it.
do know who
As a
has
specific-
codes.
yeah.
We do
Yeah.
know
They
that.
only get so far if they have a key but no code.
Oh, somebody found that out.
So you said,
And now would be a good time to mention, Vern, that the alarm in this building apparently is really loud.
Freaking loud.
Once you go outside, you can't hear anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you can't think when you're in the
You
room,
hear it at the post office.
Wow, wow.
but
oh, you can.
when you go out back.
When they test our alarms,
Yeah.
I've walked to the post office because my ears are so sensitive, and I can hear the alarm from the post office.
Wow.
It is loud.
It is the loudest alarm I've ever heard.
Someone will know if we are broken into,
Yeah, it scared me.
and the neighbors will call.
And the sheriff will call.
Yeah.
Wonder how I know.
Did you say though out back?
Out back, I could barely hear it, but I might have been deaf from being in here for 5 minutes trying to punch in my code. So,
So,
yeah. Anyway,
Okay, moving on. The personnel policy update, initial review.
Okay, so this is not a first public reading of this review. This was generally talked about and I was given the green thumb to work on this. So this is your first public review of I say it's an update to the personnel policy. It really is limited to making it A, readable, B, up to state standard in terms of law, statute, federal statutes regarding human resources. And then C, reflecting our current practices. This does not fundamentally change any of our large benefits. This particular update is to make it easy for a longer term update and conversations about benefits for employees and how you supervise them, et cetera, et cetera. This update, again, is only to reflect our current policies, practices, as well as being up to date with all of the Vermont state statutes that we are governed under. And then at the very, very back, you will also see two, so they are referred to in the policy update as appendixes. One is the cell phone reimbursement policy, and then the other is titled right now as the accident and incident reporting policy and form. Those are the two policies that you pretty generally, it was, I think Carrie got the assignment, but then I inherited it when I took over from her interim position. So those are the two drafts that were written. These are brand new and have not been in place before, but you did request through Carrie specific policies on both accident and injury reporting, fire trucks incidents, and then the cell phone reimbursement policy, because we have so many folks who are on call and we don't have a lot of employees. So most of them being on call is significant. So there, you have received previous copies. This is the one that you have before you in print is the one that is absolutely most up to date. I worked with Shelley to get all of our current practices in here in writing. There are some questions on things that your practice has not been consistent on in the past few years. We don't have to go over those right this second, but just know that they are highlighted in this copy, and we can either have a conversation or move this to the next agenda item and have a conversation after you've had a chance to like really dig your teeth into it, as thrilling as this personnel policy is. One of the questions, I'll probably pop ahead, was about the summer work hours for public works employees, which is on page 25. Right now in the old old personnel policy, the wording says May 1st through October 1st, but it does slightly conflict with your current policy and practice of allowing employees to flex their time, regardless of if they're an exempt employee or non-exempt, because we have so many folks who work weekend and evening hours. So that is one of the questions that is on page 25, 4.6.2. That's the summer work hours. And then there is also some other conversations about paid time off. Again, we don't have to talk about these today, but know that this is as updated as it's going to get, and I will now need comments, questions, etc. from the board to make additional changes. This is my full draft to give to you, and when we get to a point where you are good with drafts, we'll have a first public hearing and go through the full process of the full process of adopting this update turned rewrite.
I think we need time to sink our teeth into it.
Yes.
Great.
It's definitely a homework piece.
Yeah.
And I know that the personnel policy as a whole is 50 pages. If you had any specific questions for the two other policies that are much, much shorter, I'm happy to take them now. Or if you want to wait, let's do that. And we will bump it to the next meeting and we can have that conversation then.
I think we wait, we're held together.
I agree.
Yep.
Fantastic. And then following that, this rewrite has sparked some conversations regarding other policies and ordinances. In your packet, you will find a 8-page review of all of our policies. It's a pretty skimmed through, so it lists all of our current policies, and it's in not chronological order until you get into the third page and beyond, where it breaks things down into when it was last adopted, when it was last amended, et cetera, and it does label it currently as low, medium, and high priority. But if you would like to make changes in the way that I prioritize, I would like to hear them now and have direction on where to go for the next sets of rewrites and updates over the next 3-6 months to a year.
So what you're looking on is guidance on how to keep doing the planning, is that what you're looking for?
So what you have in front of you in that priority list with all of the, it should be in your packet. That priority list is my first run through identifying what needs to be updated. And then basically my ask is this relevant? Like, do you find that this list of how I prioritize this to be the way that you want to prioritize it? And if you have any specific direction for me in terms of determining what prioritizes first.
I think that's another thing, we're gonna have to review it.
Great.
Sink our teeth into it.
Well, yes. And that's the point, is bringing it up to you so you have at least an opportunity to ask initial questions, and then we can also bump that to the next meeting.
I think we bump it to the next meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would give us time to look everything over.
Where does the dog ordinance fall in here? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is.
Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down.
And then it's,
On which page?
So the first page is just kind of copy and paste it from our website of all of them, and then after the actual list, and then the actions, and how I've labeled them, there is a chronological, so one is pre-2006, so that lists all of the ordinances and policies that were made and adopted and have not been amended since 2006. The next section is between 2006 and 2020. So those are all of your ordinances and policies that have been adopted or amended within the 2006 to 2020 period. And then there is another section of the after 2020. So that lists all of your more recent, within the past 5 years, ordinances and policies that have been adopted and or amended in that time period.
Impressive.
Yes.
Thanks.
It's a good start, definitely. I just need more time to sink my teeth in it.
I've got many. Do we need extras?
What's that?
Do we need any extras? Everybody's got one? Fantastic. So again, direction is pretty generally needed for continued research and all of that fun stuff, because you have to agree on that. Or if you have a list that you want me to address right now, whatever, or you can wait and we can pause, read through it, and we can address this again at the next meeting.
I think we wait, read through it, and we'll give you our feedback next time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. The ones I do see on here, high priority ones I do agree with. Some of these are public safety, so they can't really wait.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, up next is strategic planning and select board 101 scheduling. You want to see a vote on this one?
So I was just at a professional development conference for my professional association, and it got me thinking a lot about how we've got a lot of projects going on, and you have a town plan, which is from 2023 to 2031, 2023 to 2031. I'm looking at you as if you know, but it's okay. It's on the list of the ordinances and stuff. That town plan is a great long-term planning document for me to refer to, but having a 3-year pretty general plan to advance and prioritize the current projects that you have right now will help both with my budgeting requests to Shelley, the next planning commission that's coming up, as well as my day-to-day prioritization of projects, because we have so much going on. And there's one of me. So my request is that you all find a time that we can schedule to have 1 hour to 2 hours to go through some pretty specific strategic planning questions that I'll have. It'll determine goals based on current projects that the select board has already approved and we're moving through right now. So this is not new goals, but this is strategic planning to get your current goals into the next phase of what they need to get into. So say water, that needs to go into engineering and design. While our wastewater is, I gotta get I gotta get a shovel into some dirt over at the leach field. And then things like the local hazard mitigation planning, like I got it. So it's both a kind of calendar based for me in terms of what you want to see, but then also really determining your goals. Anyways, I do need you guys to schedule, and then the Select Board 101 portion of it is just re-going over all of your roles, responsibilities, duties, restrictions, etc., etc. I'm planning on having that be a both strategic planning and Select Board 101 be a recurring meeting every March after the election. So the first time that we can meet with all of, if someone gets voted onto the board re-retirement or is opposing someone in an election, that first meeting will give them a very clear set of their roles, responsibilities, duties, what's happening in town, because we'll go over Select Board 101 and then we'll do strategic planning. That is a reoccurring annual meeting that will be planned after the March election. But right now, for this upcoming budget season, which is days away for you guys, we need to have at least a little bit of a rough sketch so I can make some decisions and make some requests and bring to you the best possible budget for this year, ideas for the next couple years, and then have a pretty clear idea of what our next 6 months look like. Did I talk enough?
Take a breath.
So does that sound like a separate meeting? You're asking
So right now,
Chase.
Yes.
you want me to go on and on about how strategic planning is really important to my job, and I would really appreciate it. You currently have a warned meeting for Monday, November 10th. That is a special executive session meeting of the Select Board to do personnel evaluations. This is not news, surprise to anybody, hopefully.
What?
That will be the reviews of Public Works as well as myself as I approach my 6 months next week. And then you can either add strategic planning onto the warning for that, so you can make an amendment and basically do it at the same time so that we are already all together. Or we can plan for a separate night. It does need to be done before the next Planning Commission meeting,
I'd say
Which
we
is
do it
on the
Monday.
18th.
18th.
which is on the 18th.
Since we're already planned to be here, I would recommend Monday.
Yep.
So could we need a motion to rewarn, or
We need a motion to rewarn that meeting
To add.
to add strategic planning session, which is open. So we'll have to go into the special executive meeting to do personnel.
So are you
evaluations.
still starting at 5 o'clock to do reviews?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll rewarn the meeting. So we'll rewarn the meeting to have the evaluations first, which should take about an hour and a half to 2 hours at most. And then we'll add an hour to 2 hours at the end so you'll start the meeting, you'll go into executive session, do your evaluations, go out of executive session, go into regular session, have our strategic planning conversation, and then end the meeting. So you need to vote to rewarn the meeting to include a strategic planning session.
Not at 5 o'clock though. Unless you want to come at 3 o'clock and feed the animals. But not at 5 o'clock. I got a whole bunch
It's
of
already been
animals.
warned for 5 o'clock.
It had to be with the public.
There's no pay to miss meetings, Richard.
What's that?
I know. Unfortunately, we had to work with the balance of Public Works
Correct.
schedules. So I do need a quorum for that meeting.
Even if you're not here, we'll have a quorum until you get here.
Yeah.
So.
And
I'll
then
try to hurry, but
it's okay if you show up a little bit later because those evaluations should be fairly quick because there's only 4 of us. And I'm the only new relative hire since
do
last
her
time.
first. Is that possible?
Up to you. You have to, I would,
I'll
yeah, it's
try
up
to
to you.
make it.
So 5 to 7 reviews,
7 to
Approximately.
7
8:30.
to 8:30
Strategic.
planning. And that's open session.
Yes.
So we need to do a motion for that.
So you need a motion to rewarn the meeting, yes, to add the strategic planning
I
after.
make a motion to add the strategic planning and rewarn the meeting for Monday,
I'll second that.
the 10th.
On Monday the 10th.
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So that brings us to other business. Any other business?
Can I just add, I don't know when all this key and code thing is happening. This room is a busy place and there's a calendar for it. So keep that in mind, try to get it on the books. If you have to stop in unannounced, that's fine, but this room is busy 2 to 3 nights a week.
And that's the calendar up there that we go by?
It's actually on top of the fridge right now, it's usually on this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be over there.
And if you have a question about it, that is why I have a phone.
Yeah,
Call one of us.
Yeah.
We're happy to do that.
communicate, that's all.
Yes, communicate.
I do have a little business. I haven't, maybe something's happening, but I haven't heard nothing. Town of Highgate should we put flags out around here or something for Veterans Day? I just think I was in Franklin today, they got people pictures and flags and everything. And in Highgate, we just clean up. And, we put everything away. I think we should recognize veterans here in Highgate somehow.
Wendy puts it on the sign and keeps it solid all day long, every year.
Right, but and that's great. I ain't saying that ain't, but I just feel we don't do enough. We pick them up in October, the flags. Yes, some of the flags, but if we have to replace them, I think we should, but there should be something that Highgate recognizes our veterans a little bit
I
more.
remember a while back, Ty was talking about
He's
the
still
veteran
working on it.
flags, so he's still working on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But
Our flags were out longer this year than they've
Yeah.
ever been.
Yeah, they just picked them up last week.
terrible. They
It
did.
was almost disrespectful
Right,
to have them up the way they looked.
right.
So-
And truthfully, Wendy, I was hoping that they could make Veterans Day, but they did,
Yeah.
but just,
We have flags on this building. We have flags in the parks. Are you just saying the poles? That's
yeah, that's the only place, but there's no flags in the park now, is there?
There's an American flag.
Oh, just American flag, but they took the 506 down, right?
Because they were all tattered. I just reordered all branch service flags
Yeah.
this week.
I was gonna ask about that.
I just reordered all brand new flags. Yeah.
And probably while you're doing it, you should order new flags next spring because they didn't look
Nick
too good.
usually lets me know how many need to be replaced in the springtime before they put them up.
Yeah, I think pretty much all of them.
Probably,
Just-
yeah. Yeah.
any other business?
I like your idea, by the way.
I do too.
Maybe we can get an update from Ty on the, I can't remember that program.
He talked to us at the last meeting
Oh, I did?
that he is still working on it,
Okay.
but obviously we wouldn't put them out in the winter anyhow.
Right.
Right. But they'll put something out for Veterans Day, that's an important thing.
Yep.
All right, as usual, I'll finish up the meeting with a quote. So this quote is from Ronald Reagan. "There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit." All right, so with that, Can I get a motion to exit the regular meeting? and go
I'll
into-
give you that motion.
I'll second. Oh, I beat you to it.
Okay, thank you.
Executive meeting with
With
Casella.
Casella and Freddie. Is there anybody else need to be there? No?
And it's dead. My computer died.
Perfect timing.
Good timing.
All right, so motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
It's still on.